They forced me to drink the water used to wash my husband's dead body. The courtyard of Umuocha village was heavy with silence the morning they dragged Adanna out. Dust clung to her feet, her wrapper was barely tied, and her eyes were swollen from grief she had not been allowed to express. Her husband, Chike, had been found dead during the night, and the whispers had grown louder with every passing hour. Before we go down deep into the story, do well to take a minute to subscribe to this page so you don't miss out in the next beautiful stories coming your way. The women of the village formed a tight circle around her, their faces carved with suspicion and anger. At the center of the courtyard stood Mama Ifeoma, the women leader, a clay bowl in her hands. Inside it was the milky, chilling water used in washing the body of the dead, water no one should ever touch, let alone drink. But today, they wanted Adanna to drink it. Drink it, murderer. Mama Ifeoma thundered, slamming the bowl onto the ground in front of her. Adanna staggered backward, tears rolling down her cheeks. I didn't kill my husband, please. I didn't. But her voice trembled, too weak to fight their rage. She was alone. Her parents were gone, she had no siblings, no one to defend her. And the man they claimed she killed had betrayed her in ways only she knew. Chike had died in the house of another woman. Yet here she was, accused of murder. The elders stepped forward next, their staffs tapping the earth. According to ancient custom, if she drank the water and lived, she would be innocent. But if she refused, she was guilty. And if she drank and died, that too would prove her guilt. Fear wrapped around her throat like a rope. A woman yanked her forward. Another grabbed her hair. They forced her to her knees, chanting, "Drink. Drink. Drink." Adanna shut her eyes and felt the bowl pressed against her lips. But before the first drop could touch her tongue, a voice rose from behind the crowd, sharp, loud, trembling with authority. Enough. Everyone froze. It was Okudili, Chike's younger brother. The only one who had looked at her with pity since the madness began. He pushed through the women, snatched the bowl from her mouth, and threw it to the ground. It shattered into pieces, spilling the cursed water into the dust. You will not force her, he said, chest rising and falling with anger. How dare you try to make a grieving woman drink death? Who among you was with Chike last night? Who saw what truly happened? The courtyard erupted in murmurs. Mama Ifeoma stepped forward. Okudili, stand aside. The gods must judge this matter. The gods do not need you to do their work, he shot back. The tension thickened, the villagers watching the two of them like a battle of spirits. And Adanna, she felt the words spinning around her. Shame. Fear. Anger. All tangled inside her like knotted thread. But the greatest pain was the truth only she carried. She had not killed her husband. But the night before he died, she had found out he was cheating. She had seen the love messages on his phone, seen the secret cloth of another woman in his bag. They had argued. He had walked out on her. And she had gone to bed crying, never imagining he would never return. Now here she was, forced to defend herself from a crime she did not commit. As the sun rose higher over the courtyard, the elders called for silence. Okudili stood beside her, his hand on her shoulder, shielding her like she was the only one left in his world. And for the first time since her nightmare began, her tears slowed. Because someone, at least one person, believed her. But the village was not done with her. The whispers continued. The accusations grew louder. And the truth about Chike's final moments was still buried in the darkness. A darkness that was beginning to stir. A darkness that would soon reveal secrets no one in Umuocha was prepared to face. The council hut of Umuocha was darker than usual, thick with the smell of dust, palm oil lamps, and unspoken tension. Men gathered in uneasy clusters, whispering, shifting, throwing suspicious glances at Adanna where she sat outside, waiting. Adanna hadn't planned to follow Okudili there, but her legs carried her on their own, driven by dread she couldn't silence. Inside, voices rose and fell. Okudili's voice. The elders' voices. Arguments, disbelief, alarm. Her heart hammered against her chest. Suddenly the wooden door creaked open. Okudili stepped out, his face pale, his jaw clenched so tightly she saw the muscle twitch. What did they find? Adanna asked, breath shaking. He sat beside her slowly. It was in Jax's pocket, he said. A note. A note. He nodded and pulled out a folded, stained piece of paper. Something reddish-brown had soaked into the edges. He opened it carefully and read aloud. You chose her over me. You will pay tonight. Signed, M. Adanna froze. An enemy. Okudili whispered, this means Jax's death wasn't natural. Someone threatened him. Someone wanted him gone. He turned to her gently. Adanna, this proves you didn't kill him. Relief washed through her body in trembling waves, but it didn't last. Because inside the council hut, voices surged again, shouting, accusing, panicking. What's happening? She breathed. Before Okudili could answer, Elder Obi burst outside. Search the village, he barked. The woman Jax slept with last night, find her. Bring her here. Adanna gasped. Jax had died in another woman's hut, and now the council wanted that woman. Maybe she knew something. Maybe she was the M. Or maybe something far darker was hiding in her home. Okudili helped Adanna to her feet. We're close, he murmured. The truth is coming. But Adanna felt it in her bones, the truth wasn't coming quietly. It was coming like a storm. And storms in Umuocha never arrived without destruction. By evening, the entire village gathered at the central square. Torches burned in the wind, casting long, restless shadows. The women whispered. The men pointed. Children clung to their mothers. In the center stood Masoma, the woman Jack spent his last night with. Her eyes were swollen, her wrapper torn, her hands tied behind her back. Fear trembled through her like a trapped bird. Mama Ifioma stepped forward. Masoma sobbed. I didn't kill him. I swear. He came alive. He left alive. Gasps rippled through the crowd. He left. Adanna whispered. But they found him. In front of her hut, someone added. Okudili frowned. Something doesn't add up. Elder Obi held up the mysterious note. Do you recognize this handwriting? Masoma took one look and broke down violently. I didn't write it. But I know who did. Silence swallowed the square. It was my brother, she whispered. Shock tore through the villagers. Where is he? An elder demanded. He fled at dawn, she cried. A fleeing suspect meant danger. Meant guilt. Meant a man with nothing left to lose. Okudili stepped closer. Why would he threaten Jax? Why kill him? Tears dripped down Masoma's chin. Because Jax promised me marriage. He promised to take me away from this village. My brother believed him. He believed Jax ruined my life. Lied to me. Destroyed my future. Adanna felt her heart twist painfully. Jax. Promising marriage to another woman. Another betrayal. Another wound reopening. But Masoma wasn't finished. My brother learned Jax was never going to marry me, that he would never leave you, Adanna. He got angry, too angry. But he also said he saw something worse. The villagers leaned in. He said Jax wasn't the only guilty one. He said someone else was there that night. Someone who wanted him dead even before he reached my hut. A shiver cut through the crowd. Someone else. Elder Obi whispered. Masoma's voice shook. My brother said he saw Jax arguing with the figure wearing a red cloth over their face. Adanna covered her mouth. A masked figure. In Umuocha. In the dead of night. A hush fell over the torches as if the flames themselves were listening. This is no longer adultery or revenge, Elder Obi murmured. This is something the village gods may be warning us about. Okudili turned to Adanna slowly. Someone else was there that night. Someone we haven't seen yet. Her legs weakened beneath her. The truth, the real truth, was rising. Night fell heavy over Umuocha. Even the crickets refused to sing. Adanna sat outside her hut, staring at the moon, trying to piece together a puzzle that kept twisting into darker shapes. Footsteps approached. Okudili arrived with a lantern, exhaustion etched across his face. "Adanna," he said gently, "we need to talk." He placed the lantern between them, its glow trembling like their hearts. "There is something the elders haven't told the village." Her chest tightened. "What is it?" He inhaled deeply. When they washed Jax's body, they found marks on his back. Her breath caught. Marks. Not cuts. Not bruises. He looked directly into her eyes. These marks were drawn. Painted. Adanna felt the wall tilt. Painted with what? Palm oil mixed with charcoal. Ritual markings. A chill raced down her spine. "There is only one place in Umuocha where such marks come from," he said quietly. "The abandoned shrine of Ala Nta, the goddess of broken oaths." Adanna shivered. Ala Nta. The goddess known for punishing liars, traitors, oath-breakers. A shrine no one had visited in years. "Are you saying Jax was taken there?" she whispered. "Yes. And whoever took him wanted the gods to witness it." Her hands trembled uncontrollably. Jax had not simply died. He had been delivered. "But why?" she cried softly. "Why would anyone do that?" Okudili took her hand, steadying her shaking fingers. "I don't know. But whoever killed Jax didn't just want him dead. He's dead to send a message." A cold wind swept between them. And for the first time, Adanna felt fear not just for herself, but for what was coming next. Because when the gods are invoked, when oaths are broken, and when the dead carry marks meant for judgment, Umuocha becomes a battlefield of secrets. And the one standing in the center of it all was Adanna. Please subscribe, like, share and comment for next episode.